While a bunch of pistols are pretty dope in design and how they work, there are some that are kind of getting more love than they deserve. Some experts out there might even say a few are getting way too much hype. In this video, I'm going to break down what I think are the top 7 most overrated pistols ever. I'll dive into each one based on available info online. Now, just a heads up, even though there's some chatter online that backs up what I'm saying, remember, this is just me sharing my 2 cents. If you've had a different vibe with any of these pistols, cool. We might just have to agree to disagree. And hey, if I diss your favorite pistol, don't take it personally. We are just here having a good time, yeah? Chill, bruh. Alright, enough chit chat. Let's jump right in. Number 7, Walther PPK. In at number 7 is the Walther PPK, a firearm that has captured the imagination of enthusiasts for decades. Its sleek design and historical relevance, paired with its association with a particular fictional English spy slash womanizer, gave it an undeniable appeal. While the Walther name is synonymous with high-quality firearms, the PPK stands out as an exception in the contemporary context. Introduced in the 1930s as a more compact version of the Walther PP, it was aimed at the European law enforcement market. Available today only in 380 Auto, it was groundbreaking in its day. Pioneering the subcompact category, the PPK was ahead of its time, bridging the gap between service-sized firearms and vest pocket pistols. Its design elements, both mechanical and aesthetic, were so innovative that they influenced the industry for years to come. Its popularity in the US surged post World War II when returning GIs bought these pistols home. Yet it was James Bond who truly immortalized the PPK in pop culture, ensuring its enduring demand. However, beneath the glamour, several flaws persist. The weight of the PPK is its first downside. Contrary to what one might expect, the weight does not aid in reducing recoil. Its straight blowback action results in a felt recoil similar to modern subcompact 9mm pistols, even though it uses the milder 380 cartridge. The recoil, combined with poor ergonomics, makes it less than ideal for novice users. Other notable issues include a cumbersome 13 to 15 pound double action trigger pull and unmodifiable tiny iron sights, which are inconveniently integrated into the slide. Furthermore, with the selling price ranging from $750 to $800, it stands as one of the priciest 380 pistols in today's market. Number 6, Beretta M92. Ranked number 6 is the Beretta M92, a firearm that has a history rich with commendations, yet is not without its criticisms. For purists, this pistol is iconic. It stands as the second longest serving standard issue sidearm of the US military, having been adopted in 1985 and only replaced in 2017 by the Sig P320/M17. Furthermore, its commendable record with police departments is noteworthy. Given its full metal body and substantial heft, the Beretta M92 provides a satisfying shooting experience. The allure of the Beretta M92 is also heightened by its frequent appearances in Hollywood movies. Bruce Willis and Mel Gibson movies have popularized this weapon, brandishing it against the bad guys and elevating its cult status. However, the Beretta M92 isn't without its flaws. For one, its size, which even by past standards was considerable, has been a challenge for smaller shooters. The ergonomic design often made reaching the trigger in double action mode a stretch for many. But the most contentious feature of the Beretta M92 is undeniably its slide-mounted safety. In spite of its boasted extra-wide ejection port, no-fee jams feature, malfunctions with the Beretta weren't unheard of. Furthermore, during malfunction handling, it's alarmingly easy to unintentionally engage the safety. Don't get me wrong, the Beretta M92 is a solid pistol, but I think the high praise might be a tad excessive. Number 5, Glock 19. Renowned for its unparalleled reliability and impeccable shooting experience, the Glock 19 was the go-to, setting the gold standard while others scrambled in its wake, often appearing as mere opening acts. However, in the dynamic world of firearms, what was once a poster child of handguns now seems to be trapped in a bygone era. The contemporary scene presents competitors like the Sig P320 and the Sig P320 that are fresh, innovative, and agile. In contrast, the Glock 19 now feels akin to the aging rock star trying to relive the glory days in a world that has moved on. The frustration extends to Glock's choices as well. Keeping the MOS 3 series restricted and not accessible to the general consumer base feels like a misstep, especially when consumers are seeking the latest and the best. Considering its current offerings, spending $500 to $600 on a Glock 19 feels reminiscent of shelling out modern smartphone prices for outdated technology. Yes, the Glock 19 remains competent, but against the backdrop of rapid advancements and innovations in the gun industry, it feels like it's trailing behind. In essence, the Glock 19 today evokes a sense of nostalgia, like a once chart-topping song that you revisit for old time's sake. While it remains competent, when juxtaposed against recent marvels like the Springfield Hellcat Pro or the Sig P365X Macro, it's increasingly evident that the Glock 19 now seems to ride more on its legacy than on its current merits. Number 4. FN57. The FN57, often dubbed the unicorn of the gun realm, lightweight, polymer framed, and chambering the unique 57x28 round, it's a sight to behold. The tale goes back to NATO's call for an alternative to the 9mm round. Rising to the challenge, Van Herstel introduced the 57x28mm cartridge, originally envisioned for the P90 until the 57's production began in 1998. Fast forward to the 2000s when NATO's goal of standardizing a personal defense weapon round to dethrone the famed 9mm began, the 57x28 stood out. Versatile, effective, and impressively capable of production alongside the renowned 5.56x45 NATO round. Physically, the 5.7 boasts the stature of a full-sized pistol, yet remains as light as its compact counterparts. Its predominant polymer frame with a smattering of steel internals, while unconventional in grip feel, tends to grow on users over time. With ambidextrous controls and adjustable rear sights to account for the cartridge's distinct ballistics, it is thoughtfully designed. Add to that, the cartridge's compactness allows a generous magazine capacity, embracing a double-stack, double-feed design. But every rose has its thorn, and the 5.7 is no exception. Despite the buzz, two clear issues cloud its reputation. Firstly, there's a rampant misconception about the 57x28 cartridge, painting it as exceptionally potent. The reality, its energy lags behind the tried and true 9mm, the very round trusted by military and law enforcement worldwide. The second thorn is its prohibitive cost. Historically, if one craved a 57x28mm handgun, the 5.7 was the singular choice. Today, that's no longer the case, with competitors like Ruger, Smith & Wesson, and Palmetto State Armory offering similar models at a fraction of the price. This competition dwindles the 5.7's allure. Number 3, 1911. When it comes to handguns that have secured a permanent spot in firearms history, the 1911 is probably the most revered. But like every old school treasure, the question arises, does it really hold up in today's modern world? The 1911 in its heyday was a hefty 45 ACP handgun that stands out in a crowd. Fast forward to the present and the scene paints a slightly different picture. Think of it as attempting to flaunt a Walkman in an era of Bluetooth earbuds. Its heavy disposition combined with a limited round capacity is, quite frankly, reminiscent of using dial-up in the era of 5G. But even its prime, there were challenges in the fray. For instance, John Browning's other pride and joy, the high power, was already giving the 1911 a spirited competition by the mid-1930s. And yet, even today, the appeal of the 1911 remains strong, with boutique versions commanding prices that could rival a second-hand car. Talk to a 1911 fanboy, and they'll wax, poetic about its unparalleled design, its historic significance, or perhaps the sheer craftsmanship of those high-end models. But underlying some of this passion might be a hefty dose of nostalgia, or perhaps a subtle need to validate a significant investment. Let's call a spade a spade. In a world teeming with sleeker, feature-rich handguns, the 1911 seems somewhat like a relic of bygone days. It's undeniably majestic, but practically speaking, its weight, limited capacity, and quirky features like the grip safety do raise eyebrows. Number 2, Sig P320. At number 2 in our lineup of overrated pistols is the Sig P320, a handgun with a resume that reads like a modern-day blockbuster. Its credentials are impeccable, from adoption by the US military in the iconic M17 and M18 forms, to being a proud flagship of Sig, a brand synonymous with quality and performance. Indeed, the P320 on paper comes across as every gun enthusiast's dream. Its accuracy could make even a rookie feel like a seasoned marksman. The trigger mechanism, it's like silk, seamless and intuitive. And the modularity, the ability to switch things up depending on the tactical scenario, that's nothing short of revolutionary. Yet, for all its bells and whistles, the Sig P320 carries a weighty burden. Reports and lawsuits linked to unintentional discharges have been nothing short of alarming. When stories emerge about a law enforcement officer's firearm discharging from within a purse or a holstered weapon letting off a round unprovoked, it's more than just a blemish on the P320's record. It's a potential safety crisis. The barrage of lawsuits and anecdotal evidence have certainly cast a long, cold shadow on what was initially seen as a meteoric rise to fame for the P320. It's a classic tale of promise married by pitfalls. While the P320 may have been poised to redefine the world of sidearms, the looming questions about its safety and reliability have left many wary. Today, despite its accolades and features, the P320 finds itself in a paradoxical spot. Celebrated, yet controversial. Innovative, yet flawed. Number 1, H&K USP. Our top spot for overrated pistols is claimed by none other than the H&K USP, a symbol of opulence in the firearm world, akin to a luxury car in the automotive sector. From the start, the USP commands respect, flaunting its mechanically locked, short recoil system, setting it apart from many of its contemporaries. The USP's mechanical recoil reduction system, its signature selling point, is designed to offer reduced recoil and wear. Sure, it's impressive, but is it unparalleled? Not quite. Many competitors have implemented similar systems. Where the USP arguably takes the crown is its no-maintenance system, saving gun owners from the hassle of upkeep. The endurance of the USP is notable, withstanding tens of thousands of rounds without flinching, improving its metal in extreme conditions. So it's undeniably tough, but does it stand head and shoulders above the rest? And again, it's the price tag where things get dicey. The H&K USP is not for the budget-conscious shooter. While robust and durable, its cost has many gun enthusiasts scratching their heads. When other brands like Glock deliver reliability without causing wallet distress, it makes one wonder if the USP's price is genuinely justified. The USP's safety features and hammer system might be its advocates' go-to arguments. Still, competitors like the Smith & Wesson M&P series also offer these perks. The reality is, many other semi-automatics provide comparable, if not better, features without the steep price. So yeah, choosing the HK USP is less about getting the most bang for your buck and more about owning a status symbol. And that's our list of the 7 most overrated pistols in the world. If you don't agree with our list, sound off in the comments. If the vid was entertaining, please consider leaving a like, sharing, subscribing, and clicking on the bell icon too. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one.